Hi, what can I make up for you today?
Do you have any of those pot roast sandwiches?
We do.
Could I get 2 of those with onions, please?
Alright, onions on both of them?
Yeah,
Okay. Anything else I can get for you?
that's it. Thank you.
So today, $11 even.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm testing to see if this new setting works. Hey Valerie, how are you? Oh yeah, I was just messing around with this new setting. I was having trouble earlier. Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not giving out gifts or donations. I've mentioned that for quite a while now, so it shouldn't be any news. Hi, Stacy. It's a long story because people have been not living up to the expectations, and a lot of people were introduced to some of these people ripping them off, and I just can't do it that way anymore. Hey, JP. Thank you, Stacy. I'm getting a couple sandwiches here, and I'm gonna party all night. Hey, Shannon, how you doing? Yeah, I was just testing this new setting. I got a lot of work done today. Painted for a long time. That a girl, Shannon. Oh, thank you, Lord. Yeah, I finally started a lot of the prep. I'm a fanatic on it, believe it or not. I really am. It's nuts. I'm not like that. I'm only like that on a few things. My computers, my cameras, and my when I do a project. It's crazy. I don't understand it. I went over the whole inside of the room. I'm not shitting you, with a magnifying glass, looking for spots that may have just a little blemish in the drywall. Anywhere. I went through all the windowsills. I'm going to use new window treatment, so I patched all those holes, went through every picture hole and patched it, repaired a couple wood spots, taken the doors off. I'm making the trim in the doors different color. They're going to match the ceiling. I'm just tired of boring white. Hey, Susan. Nah, I ate earlier. I can see what's going to happen now. It's 9:40, and I just got done doing a ton of painting, and I didn't feel like eating anything I had at home. So what will happen is I'll be starving at midnight, and there'll be nothing to eat. And I'm really kind of tapped out on eating around here. So I remember these pot roast sandwiches Culver's has. They're kind of small, so I got a couple of those. And then I won't need to worry about being hungry before I go to bed. Hey, Chris. The ceiling and the trim and the doors are a burnt orange. The carpet's gray. The walls are olive green, and the shelves are dark gray. Hey, Bonavista. Yeah, I'm making that. That's where I'm going to do my radio show. It's the master bedroom, and I'm going to slowly redo all the rooms. I'm just sick of like everything the same. Just this plain, boring ass white. Yeah, I'm doing the doors. I'm doing the closet yellow because it's really going to be more of an office. It's a walk-in closet. But if the door is open, you'll see like orange on the door matching the ceiling and the trim. And you'll see like the top of the door, the thickness, the length of the door, like where it latches, that'll be orange. But if the door is all the way open, I'm going to paint the inside of that door yellow. And then you'll see bright yellow on the closet. I just went to the paint store, and thought, I'm not doing this boring crap anymore. Yeah, I've done that before. It looks good sometimes, yeah. Yep, sealing with wood. I thought about doing that. Oh, good for you, Shannon. Yeah, tonight was a pretty good cloud day here as well. Yeah, it's different. I had a lot of prep work to do, and I've got that all done. I'm actually today I put a coat of prime. I did all the trim. You know how you got to trim out from the walls too? And now I'll do the roller, the walls, and the ceiling. That'll be easy. I'm going to prime the doors. And then get busy on the ceiling and then the walls. And then I'm going to do the closet separate because I want to move everything out of there into the bedroom where I can just lay it on the floor and then do the closet. Be partying. I bought a ladder too because I've got vaulted ceilings in 2 of the rooms and a vaulted ceiling in the kitchen. And you just can't do it with a regular ladder. I hate buying stuff like that, but I did. I don't like their custard, believe it or not. Thank you. To tell you the truth, it seems too sweet to me. Thank you. I tried one once. Now, I get a buddy of mine's kid one all the time. But I took like a couple bites, and it was too sweet. I didn't like it.
There's your card back for you.
Thank you.
And you're all set. I'm going to have you pull up to the left-hand side there as far as you can. We'll get your food right out to you.
Thank you. Thank you. This Culver's is like this all the time. Super busy. Sour mood on what video? What are you talking about? It's all been explained over the last few months. Hey, Frisky. Yeah, I don't like cheese curds either. And you know what? I don't like anything else here other than their cheeseburgers. But I think their fish is greasy. I don't like their fries. And I don't like any of that cheese curd stuff. Yeah, that's how this one is too. I think this, we just got this one. Let's see, is this its first year open? Yeah, it just opened this early spring. It was just a test, actually, and now I'm waiting for my Culver, so I just continued to talk. Yeah, I think their hamburgers are the best around. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Yeah, I think their cheeseburgers are excellent. No, I've driven. I've got a Toyota in the garage. I had a Ford van one time, a Windstar. I had another full-size Ford van, And I've had 2 of these. I bought 2 of them brand new at the same time. Gas had went up in 2004, and you couldn't give them away. And I got both of them for like 17 grand each. She's doing good. She's right there. Hey, Jennifer. Oh, In and Out's good too. Yeah. You know, if you live in Michigan, get a Lotto 47. It's like 15 million. The jackpots aren't really that great on any of them. Yeah, it's hard to get a good dog. I'd get another one if I could too, for a lady I know who's died. Small dogs are in demand. It's unbelievable what they get for them as puppies. I mean, it's nothing to drop 2,500 to 5 grand on a puppy anymore. Tommy 313, no. Nope. No, I never use that. No. Yeah, it's crazy expensive, man. When I was a kid, if we needed anything other than heartworm for a dog, it was time to get a new dog. There is no way in hell my dad was ever going to pay for a broken leg or something. $5,000. See you, Misty. Yeah, Daisy's got an attitude. You got an attitude, hon. Good girl. You're gonna get a part of Dad's sandwich, aren't you, hon? Daisy's by far the smartest dog I've ever had, big time. Aren't you, hon? She's sizing things up constantly. Yeah, it's a lot. But you know, like Daisy, I just cut her hair. I cut her hair about every week now. It grows like hell in the summertime. I, I don't want to burden this lady with a dog that she's got to get groomed. So I'm looking for like, you know, a hybrid that doesn't shed, that doesn't need to be groomed.
Two roast beef.
Yep.
Here you are.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a good
Have
night.
a good day. Yeah, I'll be back in Detroit. Yep. I just haven't got around to do it. I've had a lot of things to do, and it got slow down there. That COVID really wrecked things down there. And they never really returned, to tell you the truth. And you know, I spent 2 months down there and didn't give hardly anything away. I've still got a whole room full of stuff. Crazy. Yeah. That Culver's, you gotta wait a long time in there, I'll tell you that. Oh, you don't like Latin America, huh? Yeah, these are good, man. I just turned 417,000 miles. Can't beat it. It just got worn out. We used it at the detective agency. This one was used at the detective agency too. Hey, Stephanie. That's why it's got heat. You can have it. You can be heated with the engine turned off. Too much trouble. And people got to know people on my channel that it got ripped off big time. Hold on now. You know, a lot of these people that were ripping people off got to meet through my channel. I just don't want to have that happen anymore. Yeah, she is. And I mean, they get stalked and harassed. It was just sound like, you know, you don't know until you do something. You're gonna get it. That's one of the reasons, but the other reason is too is it just didn't work long term. I know. Manny and Gerald have their own channel. They're doing fine. Are you familiar with their channel? Yeah, but they've had a channel for 2 years. Yeah, Jennifer, I'm still going to just do things myself. Just keep it private. But the gift giving just got way too time consuming. And part of it was a safety issue because what has happened, it started putting me in these bag neighborhoods for too long a time. You know, I've got my share of enemies. It's one thing getting in and getting out. It's another thing spending 2 hours on a corner where everybody can see you. Yeah, I get enough YouTube money now anyway to give them the same things anyway and just not make a video of it. So it isn't like they're not going to get paid for their interviews and the things that they need. You know, I don't mind doing that. Yeah, I mean, I'll still help them, just, it's not gonna, it just got, you know, for all the reasons I've mentioned, And I've always done that, but the money's just gotten better and better with YouTube. So really, I'll have no problem. I'm already doing that anyway, paying people's rent or whatever they need. So I got plenty of money around to just hand out. So, somebody needs a cell phone or their rent paid or wants to go get a nice steak dinner or something, that's fine with me. Yeah, it's a nice guy. I mean, I never expected to get paid a penny on YouTube. So it's all gravy money. Thank you, Jennifer. I mean, like I say all the time, if somebody told me I was going to get a tank of gas, I wouldn't have believed it. Yeah, it's not happening. Hey, Journey, how you doing? Yeah, I got lucky, sure did. Yep. Yeah, I turned them off because it's just going to turn into a big, drama fest of comments. So basically, it's an announcement that I've talked about this for months anyway. So it just kind of formalizes it in an announcement. And I felt that just having the comments open would have just been a big drama fest. So I thought, screw it. No, I'd rather just, do it myself and just, hand it out. I mean, but, it was good intentions. But, when you have knowledge of something that's going on sometimes, like on the Sharon deal, I was just more than happy to just hide her videos, walk away and not say a word. Well, that wasn't good enough for her because she was ripping people off left and right. And then the more I thought about that and the way that that thing ended up turning out is exactly what I never wanted to happen. So I was thinking about it anyway, but she definitely put the cherry on the top. She's a perfect example of why I don't want to do that anymore. I'm not sure, Heather. Yeah, she's just a big manipulative scammer. She was telling people in rehab, then when she wasn't, and, just anything you can imagine. She has no intentions of going to rehab. Nobody ever got their money back that was supposed to go to rehab. It's just the worst scenario possible happened. I mean, having a drug issue is one problem, but you notice Tassie doesn't do those kind of things. Becky never did those kind of things. Ginger, I could go on and on. She's a whole nother beast of fraud unrelated to drug addiction and needing help. No, I don't want anything to do with Sharon. No. This wasn't one issue. This is a long-standing, everyday fraud fest. People that she's manipulated and used. And when I confirmed it, like I said, I was just happy to go my own separate way at the beginning. But, she's pushy envelope, keeps running her big mouth. I know where Becky's at. She's down in Detroit. Oh, yeah, she's not even a good manipulator. I mean, I don't really get, I think her channel's over, to be honest with you. I think enough people have figured it out. There's enough people out there that like drama and seek drama that they're going to tune in to just watch this 45-year-old woman splash around in a kiddie pool in a bikini that's 2 sizes too small. I mean, it doesn't get any lower than that. Honestly, I feel sorry for Sharon. She's almost like a child trapped in a lady's body. I mean, she just constantly makes a fool out of herself. She thinks she's a celebrity. No, she never got clean. I don't think she has any intentions of getting clean. Yeah. At the beginning, why wouldn't they have believed it? She had already went one time and didn't get a bed the next day, and the other thing was set up with phone calls and confirmations. She was in rehab. She just didn't stay. Yeah, Becky hasn't been in a tent in over a year and a half. Hey, Rob. Oh, okay. Where you at, Chicago? Yeah, Tassie's a great example. Yeah. Yeah, she's 45 years old. It's unbelievable. Decorating a bike. I mean, in one hand, I almost kind of cut her a little slack because she's just like a child. I mean, she acts as like she's a 9 or 10-year-old person. I mean, who in God's name wants to see her in a bikini, for Christ's sakes? I mean, it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for her. It's a kid's bike. You had it, hon. You got to eat it all. Hey, Lulabelle. Yeah, it's just like really super strange behavior for an adult. Go on, hon. Go on. Go on. Hey, Backwoods. How you doing? Yeah, no, she's definitely a scammer, that's for sure. I think that's coming to an end. Now, what if I had to guess? I mean, I've been around YouTube for a while. I think that, she's getting a fair amount of attention. People like to see a train wreck, and you're always going to get. I think there's probably a third of her viewers tune in to just get a good laugh. I mean, where else do you know that you can tune in and watch a 45-year-old woman with no breasts that is really not that attractive splash around in a kiddie pool like she's some hot model? I mean, it's embarrassing. No, I think that Uber thing was just a big made-up bullshit story. Yeah, she did. She sure did. And there's always going to be X number of people out there that are lonely. Like Rich is an example. Rich doesn't have anything else going on. I mean, he drove down to Weeki Wachee to get his pictures taken with the mermaids like a 16-year-old. Sharon doesn't have any interest. What I will give her credit for, she's been very upfront with him that, she's not interested with him in a sexual way, which Rich is used to. No, it's definitely cringeworthy. Definitely cringeworthy, for sure. But like I said, there's always enough guys out there that have nothing else going on. Yeah, I mean, I hope she gets the help for seeing, but there's plenty of people that need help, that get it, that do well. That's not Sharon. Yeah, you're right, Stacy. Yeah. Yep. Hey, Jeff. No, I would hope she got her life turned around, but you know, she really, went from A to Z with lying to people, and she got money out of them. Yeah, I know, Jennifer. you know, it happens. That's why I don't want that happening through my channel again. You know what I mean? I mean, there are people that have gotten things that are very appreciative that it's helped, but not like that. You know what I mean? Especially to turn out to be such a big fraud. Hey, Linda. I just got done eating at Culver's. I'm kind of across the street from McDonald's. Yeah, I agree, Mia. Yeah, she's. I mean, I don't think she's playing with a full deck. Yeah, and I don't really know what Becky's up to tell you the truth. Yeah, I don't like those cheese curds. The only thing I like is like these roast beef sandwiches I got, and the cheeseburgers are excellent. I think it's the best cheeseburger around. Yeah, that happens, Katrin. Oh, it's buffering? I'm not really sure on that. You don't know what to believe, Jody. Hey, Cheryl. Oh, Jana. Yeah, I don't know what she's up to either, to be honest with you. I don't know if she's still down there or not. I mean, I know other people down there doing different things. Needle exchange, people that drop off medical supplies, lunches, and they don't see anybody down there like they used to. Yeah. So I'm not really sure what the deal is with her. But any of you guys have any ideas on it out there on what you think would be maybe a different way of handling people when I do an interview, or if you got any ideas out there, I'm always open to suggestions. Well, you know, Sharon, I think the way that people got set up is she just drug her feet for months. And you just kind of hoped that things were going to go her way, and then all of a sudden it just got fishy and got worse, and then I confirmed she was ripping people off, and I thought, the hell with this. Oh, shut up, 123. The only sexual favors I got is from your mother. She blows me instead of setting an alarm clock up in the morning. Other than that, none. I get all the sex I want whenever I want. I don't need to hit women that I interview up, you fucking idiot. Except your mother. Yeah, I do let her blow me instead of set an alarm clock in the morning. Yeah, Gary's a good guy. Yeah, Gary's an educated guy. Yep. Yeah, you can trust Gary. I mean, he's a little behind. Gary's 81, I think, maybe older. You know, he's got AOL as his main email, and I don't think he has a website. You know, he's a little behind the times, but yeah, he's not going to rip you off. Yeah, people bring that shit up. They probably do it to aggravate me, which always works, because that is just so ridiculous, man. Sexual favors. That is such bullshit. I've had sexual favors before, but believe me, I'll be honest with you, it never was even joked about when I was doing those interviews. Not at all. One time I brought that up to Becky eating breakfast, and she said, "Are you crazy? Nobody thinks that about you down here." I mean, and here's the thing: even if they did, so what? I mean, they're prostitutes. I mean, is that all you can come up with to hassle me about is sexual favors from prostitutes? Big fucking deal. I mean, even if I was getting them, I don't think I'm a better guy because I'm not. I just don't. Yeah, yeah, but Susan, he sells perfume for a living. He's been doing it 30 years. I think he knows what goes bad and what shouldn't be sold. I mean, it's not like this guy's supplementing his income. He's been at this hardcore. Yeah, that's what I think. They need a friend more. I don't think I'm any great white knight coming down there on a magic carpet and saving the day. I never thought that at all. It was as basically just kind of walked into it accidentally, and I was curious how they got there. People use coin the phrase judge people. I never was really like that, I guess I'm lucky. You don't know why you think the way you do. It just kind of turns out this way, and you hope that it's socially acceptable and nothing weird, and I've been lucky that way. I don't know why I'm this way. Why it interests me and why I like doing it. I don't really question it, though. There's no ulterior motive here. Nobody's going to find any smoking gun with me. Hey, Golik. I spell it out. I spell it out. No secrets. Probably, YouTube people maybe know a little too much about my personal life sometime, but to be honest with you, I don't really give a shit. I'm at the back end of the road now. I'm on the final slope of life. I'm not applying for jobs. I don't even give a shit what my reputation is. It doesn't bother me because I don't need anybody for anything. I don't need a reference. I don't need a job. There's nothing I want from someone, so there's no motive for me to present something that's not legit. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was like genuinely curious. It's the working girl interviews are the ones that made the channel kind of take off. But I like interviewing anybody doing anything. Once I get set up better, which will be this fall and winter, it's going to be a lot better. I'm going to do different things and maybe a little more legitimate documentary on something. No, your mother helps my ego too. I dumped her about 6 months ago for the last guy that we just blocked. How would that affect somebody's ego, you moron? Yeah, I looked into that before. There's nothing close there. No office. Oh, thank you, Jabo. Yeah, I've thought about that, but I'm not really. If you really look into things, when you talk to people, I think ego's involved. Where you want to produce a documentary, or you want to say you wrote a book. I don't want to do any of those really. So, the only thing that would motivate me to do one, if there was some real good that could come out of it. There's no money in any of that stuff, which I'm fine with that part. But if something I could just do to where it would really have tangible results, I just don't know what the hell it is. These Native Americans are getting fucked left and right. Black Lives Matter, that garners all sorts of attention. Transgender bathrooms get national headlines. And for some reason, no one seems to give two shits about these Native Americans. They got fucked over worse than anybody. And I think of this myself, and I can't even come up with some abstract, way out there idea on having people know more about this and trying to help them out. I mean, basically, they just put them all in big, large animal holding pens. Swear to God, they set them up for failure. And considering, all their land was stolen, and we murdered them forever, you would think that in this day and age, with reparations, that, other than some horseshit plan where if you're Native American, you can go to one of these colleges for half off. Look, man, when you don't have any infrastructure and you're not prepared for life and there's hopelessness in your community, getting half off at the University of Michigan isn't going to do you any good at all. You're not anywhere near college material. So scratch that. So, and with the working girl, I mean, here's the thing. It's like, I don't know what the hell to do. I guess that's why it's such a problem. And if you think about all the resources we have in this country, look at these. University of Michigan has a big think tank. I think you can get a graduate degree from that program. They don't do shit. They got all these theories about why this happens, the poor, racism, age discrimination, gay bashing, Asians getting fucked with. But what's the solution? Nothing. You got Wayne State right down in Detroit. You've got Oakland College. You got Western, Central, Marquette. You got all these colleges out there, and nobody can seem to come up with a better alternative than what's happening out there now. I mean, what good are all these programs and stuff if nothing ever changes? Yeah, I will play anybody in basketball. I would play anybody in basketball. Yeah, I played a lot of basketball. Yeah, I did. Yep. My whole life, actually. I beat Tim Hardaway at horse. I beat Scottie Pippen at horse. I beat Marcus Fizer, who was the fifth or seventh draft pick at one-on-one. But that doesn't make you like a great basketball player. It's kind of a hustle, trick shots and stuff like that, talking a lot of shit. Yeah, I'm not really interested in that. But Conor McGregor, I mean, he's an okay fighter. I don't really care about those two guys fighting again. I mean, they're both skilled fighters. It just doesn't really interest me that much. You want to watch a puncher. Now, he's taken some time off for anxiety. Watch this Ryan Garcia. Go on YouTube and look at that video of him punching that heavy bag. My God, you talk about fast hands and crazy power in both hands. I mean, he's got as much power in his left hand without bending over to throw it as a hook. It's crazy. Yeah, they're cool. Oh, I don't doubt that, Mark. Yeah, in Canada, they treat the Native Americans just... Well, I guess they wouldn't be Native Americans over there. Well, they would. It'd be North America. What do they call them over there? Is that how they refer to them? What do you want, hon? Daisy sick of sitting here. The big lessons were... Okay, here's the big lessons. Now, well, the big lesson was that I created a platform where people got to know some of these ripoffs through me. And that's not a good feeling. Now, if you looked at it from a batting average, it's not the worst, but it's just not a good feeling. That's the first thing, right? But there were a lot of people that got nice things that used them, and you can't say anything bad about that. So the biggest lesson was I was a conduit for fraud. That's one thing I would say. The second thing is I think that a lot of the stuff that's been given over the years, like clothes and shoes and stuff, be honest with you, I don't know what the hell happened to a lot of that stuff. I mean, these girls have a hard time keeping anything. But I'll give you an example. There was a lady that was making, Catherine, that was making these shirts. And you would have thought of the hundreds of shirts that this lady did, that I would have saw one of these women wearing one down the road, and I never did. So there were lots of things that were given out that never seemed to be used. I mean, repeatedly, not just an isolated incident. And then I found out later that cash, cards, and stuff for dinners and stuff was sold and for a penny on a dollar. I knew that was going to happen, but like I said, all of it wasn't used for that. And so that was probably the second thing. And instead of like feeling good about this whole thing, you end up, kind of feeling bad about it. But I think the number one thing that turned me off the most was just people getting ripped off, and they had met him through me. And let's see what else. It is a dismal success rate, but I just found that, I still have a whole room full of stuff. I spent all of August and again the month of October, and I hardly gave anything out. I'm going to make one more try at giving that stuff out, and if I don't give it out this next time I go down there, I mean, this is 60 days. This is like $6,000 in hotel fees, and probably $1,500 in gas and all sorts of other stuff, and I still didn't give the stuff out. So it just got where it was like, this isn't the idea behind it, but I'm going to give one good shot at giving it out. If I can, I'm going to contact the people and say, hey, can I just give this to anybody I run into, or could I send you your money back or whatever? I mean, I don't want to take this stuff. People say, well, why don't you just take it down and donate it to the Goodwill? I don't think that's good either, because at the time when people were sending me things, why wouldn't you have felt good? And people go to a lot of trouble. They go and they buy this stuff and they package it and they spend a lot shipping it, and then I'm going to take it to the local Goodwill. I'd be pissed. That wasn't the deal. So I don't want to do that. I want to, get it to where it's supposed to go. I still have cash, $115 from one lady in Canada. Her and her fiance sent it. And I have cash that I still am supposed to hand out that I haven't. And I've still got envelopes with cash in them. I just never ran into the people. So, I want to give this stuff up. Yeah, they do make bank, yeah. Yeah, Tassie just texted me today. Of course, she's got a new phone number. These people go through phone numbers like you can't believe. Tassie, everything's fine with Tassie. I couldn't be more happy for her. It takes two people, right? It takes somebody helping them out and somebody on the other end that takes the help, and it changes them and they get good because of it. And Tassie is a perfect example of that. She's the one person that has definitely got, come on over here, hon. Come on over here. She's the one girl that definitely has a free pass from me. If she needs, I don't care. I don't even ask her what the money's for. And I know it kills her to call me and ask me for money, but no problem. I don't care what it's for. And like I said, I get plenty of money now from YouTube, so it's not like it's really my money. It is money that I got from videos, but I don't really look at it that way, because the truth of the matter is, if it wasn't for interviews like Tassie and Angel and Penny and people that are no longer around, we wouldn't even be talking right now. So you can say, well, that's not true. I do have like almost 11,000 videos, I think. But the truth of the matter is, the Working Girl videos put me on the map. It wasn't Culver's hamburger videos or digging holes in the ice and using my GoPro, watching fish stare at the camera. Come here, hon. So I, I don't think that I owe people, because it was all just shit luck, right? YouTube realized there was money in my videos, so they recommended them to people. I mean, it's not all as holy as it sounds. I mean, there was, and they've got, algorithms and IT people, and they figured out that, hey, this guy's doing some things that people like to watch. So you can imagine what they're making, which I'm fine with, because I can't think of another forum where you can get in for nothing and end up getting paid. I mean, I love YouTube. It's been great for me. So, I mean, it's whatever Tassie needs, she's getting. There's a bunch of people I'd do that for. It's no problem. And I'm glad I would do it. I was doing it anyway, even before I had any money. And really, if you looked at expenses and income since I've been on YouTube, I'm still deep in the hole, but that's okay. And not like I used to be. I'm slowly getting out of it. But shit, I've been doing this for since 2007. But like I said, do any of you people expect to get reimbursed for going on vacation? That's how I look at it. I mean, this is all fun and games, so I'd still be doing it whether I got paid or whether I didn't. I mean, YouTube could say one day, you know what, we're not going to do this ad revenue stuff anymore. Either you can stay here or not. I'd still do the same thing. It'd be the same exact stuff. I haven't changed my game for anything. Oh, did you, Judy? Oh, thank you, Sylvia. Nah, I don't really, honestly, I mean, I would take credit for success. But to be honest with you, I'm not really responsible for her success. Not at all. I lost touch with Tassie for a long time. I didn't know what the hell happened to her. And then, I knew a guy that was dating Monica, the girl that got hit by a car. And he kind of got me back in touch with Tassie after she'd been long gone. And then she fell off the wagon a couple times, but Tassie completely did everything on her own. I didn't have anything to do with it. Now, since then, and maybe in the last year or two, Tassie and I keep in touch. She, like I said, she just sent me her new phone number today. And I'm happy for it. The notion that I would run into someone like that, just happenstance, and still have contact with them and have a good relationship, I'm happy about. I mean, of all the people that are no longer amongst the living, and Tassie still is, it's moving to me. Well, thank you, Lou. I don't really do too much. That's what people say, but people say that, but I never really looked at it that way. I mean, who doesn't know about working girls with drug addictions in big cities? I mean, I don't see how people don't know about this. Now, what I think may have happened, but it was happening to me, and you guys just got to see it. I mean, I've always kind of been like this. I would have the same conversations, just no video camera. So you guys once YouTube got going, I was basically just recording what I was kind of doing my whole life. And then you got to see, or other people got to see, a part of a person that was different than just a hooker. And maybe that did make people think differently, Yeah, I'm a long-range shooter, that's for sure. Yeah, big time, man. I was canning three-pointers before there was the three-point line. Yeah, good for Barbarese, yeah. Yeah, I haven't even shot baskets in a couple years. I do think, it's funny, I played hardcore basketball till I was 55. And, I just decided to quit one day. And the reason that I quit is because I thought I never had any knee problems, no broken ankles, none of that. I thought, I better get out of this stuff. And I saw a lot of guys my age that kept playing. And it was like, I kept in pretty good shape. And it was like, I had to just quit this, man. I've had a good run at it. That got injured, like big injuries. And, I had a knee start bothering me about 9 years ago. And here, after I quit, so nothing would bother me. And I got a knee that bothers me. It hasn't bothered me in a while though, so I'm hoping that it's gone away. I did play a guy from Detroit that had got a girl pregnant up here that worked at Walmart. I did play him one-on-one, 3 games of 5 to one-on-one for money because, you know, he was always talking a bunch of shit. That was the last time I played, you know, competitive basketball. Oh, thanks, Mechanic Mama. Yeah, I guess it's just getting old, man. I lost my enthusiasm for a lot of stuff. You know, I'm dealing with this goddamn depression all the time. I've had a hell of a time with it about the last 10 months, to be honest with you. I've tried every damn medication I can think of, all the new ones. Actually, I'm going to try a new one this week. Anybody ever try Abilify? I mean, it seems like every one of these medications that I've tried has made me worse. Swear to God. Yeah, I beat his ass. Yeah, I really did. Actually, there's 2 of the guys that still work here that they bring it up every time they see me. Yeah, now he was quite a bit shorter than me, which helped. I'm sure if I got a young baller, there's no way I'm beating him in one-on-one. But these guys, you know, they're just like average players. It's no big deal. Oh, thank you, Aluminum Brain. I'll tell you another thing. You notice is, like, I remember sparring hard with a guy at 40 years old. And I remember realizing right at 40 that I think I had probably lost half my punching power. So, you know, I've always been interested in that kind of thing my whole life. And that's why I knew when Mike Tyson and Roy Jones were going to fight, what a big waste of time it would be. Because if you pay attention to like sports that way, you watch everybody's power head out the window as they age. It just does. You know, you'll see guys that can jack up some pretty good weight for being older, but punching power not happening. Hey, Diane. Yeah, I tried Effexor a long time ago. Hey, Petey. Yeah, I thought about trying Prozac, you know. Actually, I thought about doing that, you know. I don't think that, you know, the thing about it is, I can remember a psychiatrist telling me that depression got older as you aged. I thought, man, I hope that's not true. Come on, Daisy. Come on in. I remember thinking, I hope that's not true. Well, you know what? It's true for me. I mean, my depression isn't because of anything, but you'll think that it is. I mean, come on, hon. Come on, hon. Come on, hon. Come on. Come on. Yeah, you'll think, and I still go through that, but it'll sneak up on you, and all of a sudden, you're thinking it's, you know, because of the color of your bedroom, and you got to paint it, or you got to move, or, I mean, and it still sneaks up on me like it's the first time I ever got it. Depression, I'm not shitting you. I'll be thinking, you know, it's because of something. But I've had a hell of a hard time for the last 10 months. Yeah, I got momentarily better. You know, I had a pretty good rock bottom there 4 years. That was my 4th year anniversary here a few weeks ago. And I got better, it seemed, and then it just kind of slowly got back. But for the last 10 months, it's been like, I would say, unbearable. Almost. I mean, I'm still amongst the living. Go on, you moron. Turn. Turn, you moron. I'm gonna let this guy turn too. This is kind of weird here. So, I've tried books, drugs. Therapy's not going to do me any good. I'm at a loss, to be honest with you. I don't know what the hell to try. Well, I do. I'm trying different drugs. Trying less of them, more of a sleeping schedule, drinking, not drinking. I'd even tried gummies. I mean, today was a pretty good day. I mean, what it does, my biggest thing, is it keeps me from getting anything done. I'm just kind of in limbo all the time. Can't get anything done. So today, I'll be honest with you, this is embarrassing to even admit this. I got more done today than I've gotten done the last 10 years in a single day. I don't do shit. Yeah, I am going to get back to working out. But here's the thing with working out. Like, I was always really into weightlifting my whole life. And if I'm not getting bigger or stronger, it doesn't really interest me. If I wanted to go in there like Richard Simmons every day, so what I'm set up to do is to get injured because it's never good enough. I'm going to finally get to the point where I can't lift anymore in some of these exercises, and that's how you injure yourself. It's stupid. But I just don't want to go in there with this gentleman's workout and, not like take creatine and egg whites and eat right. And like, it's weird. He's still around someplace, Yeah, amphetamines. Well, I did, for a while they thought, I went to that Cleveland clinic. What a big ripoff. They thought I had narcolepsy for a while. They didn't even recognize chronic depression. And they gave me one of those modafinil. It's a stimulant. And, nah, that did not work. That damn near drove me crazy. Yeah, and honestly, I could take or leave drinking. I mean, I do drink, but I don't think in excess. I mean, it depends. Like if I go home tonight, I bought a just bottle of Ardbeg 10 last night. That'll last me about 2 weeks. And I could like drink it or not drink it, to be honest with you. Now, when I go home and I drink 2 or 3 shots of that over 2 hours while I'm surfing the internet, would I drive? Probably not. If I drink 2 Dragon's Milk, would I drive? Probably not. So is that too much drinking? You tell me. But like I could say, I've quit drinking for like 5 years just for the hell of it. It wasn't because I had a problem, but I could take it or leave it. I'm lucky because both my parents were big boozers. Yeah, chronic fatigue, though. You try and talk to like an experienced physician with that. They think it's a bunch of shit. That could be it. But, that's the thing with chronic depression. It mimics so many other diseases. I mean, I went around for 8 years thinking I had some kind of disease no one could determine. That's the kind of stuff chronic depression will do. I mean, I've struggled with this since a little kid. No, and then what the hell was I taking here? I notice sometimes, like, anxiety is a cousin to depression. And I notice, like, on days, like, I'll take a Claritin D and I'll drink a coffee in the morning. And that's probably not the best idea for my mental state. I can see certain scenarios coming up to where I would overreact, just go fucking crazy. I mean, I've had a couple incidents. One was replacing my garbage disposal about 6 months ago, and another one was just the other day, actually. I had an absolute fit, man. Just go absolutely crazy. If you were my neighbor, you'd think there's something seriously wrong with this guy. But I think it's a lot of frustration from not getting things done and just living this way. And one little tiny thing will happen, like, I'll spill a drop. I'll give you an example. Like tonight, I'm a fanatic about this crazy shit when I'm doing these projects. Like, let's say if I'd have spilled some paint on the carpet, even though it's, you can clean it up with hot water, I would probably overreact. It's not normal. Yeah, that RV thing just doesn't do it for me. Yeah, gabapentin. Now you can take handfuls of those and they don't do shit. They use it for diabetic neuropathy. It's almost impossible to overdose on gabapentin. I tried those. They didn't do shit. No, I appreciate it. I don't know what the hell, man. I've tried everything. I think, like I said, it slips up on you. You all of a sudden you blame things on your thinking, and you're thinking it's because of an external force. And I do that sometimes. And like, I'll give you an example. Like, I'll start thinking that, honestly, since I had a great life from about 30 to 42, I mean, I'm not kidding you, it was great. And honestly, from about 42 to 65, it's kind of all been the same, and nothing's been that exciting. And I'm not naive anymore. I'm not naive enough to think that true love or winning the Powerball or having a different house. Christ, I've moved everywhere and lived in a nice place when I thought I did it. I know toys aren't going to do it, Corvettes or airplanes. So I got an idea what these last who knows how many years are going to be like for me, and it's really nothing to look forward to. I think that could be part of the problem. I mean, if history is any kind of indicator of the future, things are not going to be too exciting for me. Oh, did you, Petey? Yeah. So I mean, what am I supposed to have traveled everywhere I wanted to, had every toy in the world? Sometimes I think I just enter a PhD program or go to law school just to, make one final stab at like having a legitimate credential. And then I think that's so stupid. Why would you do that, man? And I think it'd give me something to focus on. I mean, it's the old adage, add meaning to your life. Viktor Frankl wrote a book on that. I don't think it's quite that simple, you know? Nah, I haven't. I haven't, Emily, because I've tried them all. I just went ahead and tried them all over the years. I got a lot of experience. Shit, I was on lithium 40 years ago. Yeah, I just don't think though that I don't think it's practical. And again, I have this idea in my mind of what that would do for me. And what it would do for me is I get out and probably wouldn't get hired as a lawyer. And who knows what as like a PhD teacher at junior college. I don't really want to do that. So the net result of doing these things, I mean, I'm not the kind of guy to say, hey, wow, I got a law degree, I got a PhD in, basket weaving. So what? It would have to like do something for me. And it just doesn't, on the other hand, maybe it's better than twiddling my thumbs for the next 5 years. I don't know. Inner Picasso? Nah, I can't. I'm not too artist oriented at all. I'm gonna run in here and grab a bag of cherries really quick. So just give me about 5 minutes to run in this Walmart. I'll be right back. You stay there, hon. You keep an eye on the van, honey. Okay? Keep an eye on the van. Keep an eye on the van, honey. I gotta throw this Culver's box away. Good girl, hon. Thanks, you guys. Come here, hon. Good girl, hon. Thanks, you guys. Sorry about that. Oh, would you have a question? It just got to be, too many people were like getting taken advantage of, and it just turned to be a can of worms. And it took, like, I've got stuff I tried giving away for 2 months. It's changed down there. It's not as busy as it used to be, and it was just putting me in too many bad neighborhoods for too long, and I wasn't getting anything done. And I'm getting enough money now to just pay for stuff myself, so I don't really need donations. And it was always separate videos because I didn't want to, have someone's donation turn into a video of mine. So I'd always do a thank you video so I could account for what people sent. And it just, between the fraud and the misrepresentation and the hassle, I'm just going to go back to the old days. Hey, Eric Old, where you been? We're not going to go into that Sharon stuff on here. It's all over the place on what she did, and you'll have to look it up on some other channels. I mean, 1 second talking about her is too long. If you can't figure this out on your own by watching her channel, then you need your head examined. I know, honey, I know. I mean, saying she went to rehab and not going, I mean, that's right enough right there. Lying to people about being there. No, don't give her a channel name. We're not giving any promotion to her channel at all here. None. Nah, she'll carry one around in her mouth and bury it, but she never eats them. She loves watermelon, though. I'm so sick of Sharon, man, I could scream. She's a nightmare. Yeah, she'd spit them out. That's what I do. Yeah, she could poop out a pit. No problem. There's this company that makes these treats that Daisy likes. And it's got lamb, chicken, and beef on it, a little skinny piece of rawhide. And they've been out of them lately. But they do make the rawhide one with little tiny little specks of chicken, lamb, and beef that go through the middle of them. But she doesn't like them. So I just went by that aisle and they had 2 bags in there. So I got her one. And she wanted to eat those things right through the bag. I don't know how the hell she knows that's what is in there because it's plastic sealed. But she knew that I had the right ones. So yeah, that's the plan here. And another thing too, by doing this new program, another thing I'm not doing too, I'm not getting to meet people on YouTube anymore. I don't wanna get to know them like I used to. There weren't that many. But man, I can give you some horror stories of these people. Yeah, they're bad for you though, maraschino cherries. It was just not worth the hassle anymore. Yeah, but like to stalk an idiot from Indiana. I'll tell you, who knows? She'd still be causing me problems if I didn't record her phone calls. But there's probably been 20 women I met on YouTube, like, just kind of, through, they've been around for a while. They were moderators, and every single time it's been a nightmare. So I'm just not going to do it anymore. Let Daisy run around. And it's dark tonight. No, the ones I already know is fine. But, I mean, these wackos will lay low. I mean, it's, swear to God, it's like Fatal Attraction, really. I mean, just really crazy. YouTube just seems to attract a lot of these crazy people. I don't know why, man, but they're out there. A lot of them. And every damn time, it was just being nice to him. I wasn't even interested in him. No shit, it was like that. I'm serious. I mean, crazies. These cherries are good. It's the best time of the year for them. They come from Seattle. Yeah, I've almost hit a few of them, but I haven't, thank God. It'll really do a number on your car. There's 400 deer a year hitting in this county. 400. No, people are just so weird. Yeah, I don't know. To be honest with you, in fairness to these kooks, You know, I can remember like I had my parents were a couple slobs, and I wasn't really set up in high school to date. You know, they had junky cars, and we lived in a crappy house. So I was a late bloomer on dating. But from like 19 to like 27 was like unbelievable. It was just what I hoped it'd be. You want to run around? She wants me to go with her. Go run around then. So, but I found since about, let's say about 30, you know, that dating, it isn't like it is when you're young. Once you head into your 30s, you got to get super lucky. It's hard enough to meet someone that, you know, you want to marry, even when you got the pick of the crop, young, unattached, no baggage. You get up into your 30s, and man, it gets continually worse, right up to my age. I had this 82-year-old lady stop by 2 days ago. She wants to know, wonders why I never stop by. Yeah, I don't wonder. You're 82, lady. I came out here because I thought Daisy would want to run around. I don't need to keep an eagle eye on her. She doesn't. I mean, good conversation is fun and all that. But I'm telling you, and this sounds terrible, when there's no sexual interest as part of the equation, it almost never happens. Yeah, that's true, BP. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. That's for black women, though. But I do think there's a romanticism that's genetically linked to everybody. Even an old cynic like myself thinks that maybe one of these days, which of course is hilarious, no, I'm not saying that, you know, I don't mean to sound like every woman that I crossed paths with, I wanted to have sex with or we weren't going to meet. It's not like that. But I found that there's a much different scenario, much different equation when there's no sexual interest involved. When there is, it's like you do all sorts of shit. Walks, talks, you know, antiques. You know, you could look at a damn truckload of cucumbers and enjoy it. But when that isn't part of it, I just make a lot of excuses and come up with one excuse after the other to not do shit. It's terrible, I know. I'll take the shallow hit on this one. It is, Susan. You know, I don't know how Becky's doing. I haven't talked to her in a while. Yeah, it's going to be a while, that bridge. It's basically shut down the prostitution. Yeah. Isn't that terrible, Jody? No, I just kind of, was into photography, and I would run into the working girls and just thought I'd interview one day. That's it. It wasn't any big plan or... Actually, those videos sat around for quite a while. Nobody watched them. Mm-hmm. Was it really air cooled? Did you see anybody down there I know? Because the people I talk to now aren't saying that. Hey, Simka. Have a good night, Tony. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Ashley. I'm at the airport. I thought Daisy was going to want to run around out here, but she doesn't. Oh, okay, air cooled. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, Simka, did you say you considered moving or did you scrap it? I just came out here to let Daisy run around. It's my dog. Crazy. Nuts. I don't think anybody's flipping any houses. They can't afford to buy them. Good night, Christy. I don't blame you. I mixed something. I'm not sure what. I haven't heard from her in a long time. I don't know what she's doing. Oh, really, Simka? No kidding, huh? Man, I remember you could buy houses there for nothing. Pricing of housing is ridiculous, man. I paid $75,000 for my house 10 years ago, and they couldn't give it away at the time. Yeah, forget that, Simka. There's no place a house is worth $350 anyway. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I know it, Drew. Isn't that nuts? Yeah, I did find a good deal. I did. That's ridiculous. I got a place in Florida. It's all shit luck. There's somebody that stops there once a week wanting to buy that damn place. My wife lives there. but I just got lucky. I would sell that place tomorrow if I could. You'd have to be out of your damn mind to pay that for a place down there. Good for you, Ericold. That's what it should be. Hey, Stacy. Nonsense, man. Yeah, it's too much trouble handing them out. Yeah, big time. Florida's going record prices right now. Yeah, it is, Drew. Good for you, Simca. That's not too bad, Stephanie. No, it's such bullshit. No, I'll probably never leave here. I could rent a room, no problem. No, I believe a quick draw. Oh, and you ate a lot tonight. You ate a lot. Yeah, take care, Aluminum Brain. Yeah, there's no way in hell I'd pay that to live. I don't know how young people start. It was hard enough to come up with the money for a down payment when you were young, when things were normal. I don't know how young people afford a house anymore, especially with the middle class disappearing. I would rent a room, no problem. If I could wave a wand and just be living in a room, I would be so happy. Yeah, live with their parents. I believe it. How do you afford anything else? I mean, it's just nuts. You can't afford like a car and a nice vacation. I mean, a damn cell phone's $150 a month now. Cable's $100 and a quarter. Shit, I can see why. I can understand this housing market if the economy was thriving and there were decent paying jobs. Good for you, Simca. You got in the good old days. Yeah, that's the thing about it. The dollar isn't that strong anyway. It's crazy. And it's cold out. Hell, I don't blame you. I swear to God, I'd get a room. I would. Look at Toronto. Toronto's crazy too. I mean, the Wall Street Journal did an article about a year ago that said the middle class could no longer afford a new car. No, it's nuts, man, how expensive things are. Any money I've got, it's from I made it 30 years ago. Just got lucky in this Florida place. Plus, I think I should get max Social Security in a couple years, year and a half, if that doesn't go broke. So I caught the tail end of the good old days. And we're not mentioning these crazy college loans, what people have to pay to get these stupid degrees like I have. I wouldn't have borrowed a damn penny to go to college. It wasn't that expensive. And at the time, everybody thought just because you'd have this Mickey Mouse degree that you were worth hiring. Those days are over. Oh, you retired early? Oh, okay. Yeah, at least you're getting it, though. Another thing, like I got Medicare. I was eligible in January. If you get Medicare and you get a supplement, and you get insurance, you're looking at $350 a month. You're right back into the same bullshit you were thinking you were going to get out of insurance payments. Yeah, I thought Medicare was free. Bullshit. No, the secondary wasn't that bad. The regular Medicare was a lot. You know, they rate you though, just like they do in any other insurance. They run these profiles on your medical history. They ask you what medications you're on. Thank God I wasn't on any at the time. So mine was still, I thought, more, but what the hell are you gonna do? I mean, you know, I'm at the age now where if Medicare doesn't cover everything. There's some things they won't pay for. If they told me I needed like a $500,000 operation, now this is before the Grim Reaper comes knocking at my door and I'm looking at him eye to eye, because you don't really know what you're going to do until you're faced with the hard, cold facts. You got all these plans. But I think if they said I needed a $500,000 operation, I'd just say, just let me die then. I do not want to pay that bill. I mean, there's got to be a equation that comes up to where it's no longer financially prudent to stay alive based on what this non-guaranteed surgery is going to cost. Yeah, but I got the supplement. Well, they pay 80, huh? I haven't really used it yet. No, but there's a thing about that. And I think too, you know, like I think somehow times how lucky I am. You see these people, they have these like brain cancer. There's YouTube videos. Watch out, hon. TikTok videos. You see these people have this like brain cancer. They're like 16. They're only gonna live like 6 months or something. My God, man. Oh, really, Spirit? Wow. No, not car payments. No way. Not doing it. But again, that's part of my philosophy is like, if I was 25 and dating, do you think I'd be driving this Astro van? Hell no. You show up to somebody's damn front yard in this Astro van, especially with no air conditioning. That'd be a game changer. So what I'd need to do is I'd need to have a new car with new payments, just so when I pulled up in front of their house, I stood a damn chance at dating them. No shit. So like I said, it's back to my philosophy of not wanting anything from anybody. It's a hell of a lot cheaper. Feeling good, hon? Feeling good, aren't you? Good girl. Well, people talk about insurance being free in Canada. Yeah, well, it depends how you look at it. Because if you look at Canadians' income tax, that insurance is anything but free. Oh, lactating lazy, you got my attention. Good, it was good. Yeah, lots of them don't too, Simca. If you're ever down to Florida, you'll see a bunch of Learjets sitting around down on the ramps in the wintertime. That's because the Canadians getting in car accidents. The first thing the government does is fly them back to Canada because they don't want them over here running up big bills they're never going to get paid on. They will take an injured Canadian and put them on one of those medevacs in a heartbeat just as soon as they can to get them out of the United States. They're sitting all over in the wintertime. Yeah, she was thirsty. See, she must have had some health care problems, though, for her supplement to be that expensive. You know, had a history. Because I know they asked me that. I know mine could have been a lot better, a lot more expensive. Yeah, no, that's you'll see them all over the place, like at the bigger airports, Orlando, West Palm Beach. Those are the government will put those Canadians on, and as soon as they stabilize them, get them out of Dodge. They learned that lesson a long time ago. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, but most of those surgeries that Canadians come over for, those are elective surgeries. Some of them are not because there's a time factor. That's the way I look at it, Jody. What's that, Frisky? Who seemed rushed? Go outside and go pee-pees? Want to see my painting? I got my doors off. See, I got it all trimmed. All the baseboards. This is all primer because I'm using a bright color. You think of that? Hey, Blue Jeans. See, this is my little... I was gonna change these lights. See, and all over there is gonna be bookshelves. I got them all marked out. And all over there is gonna be bookshelves. And on the ends, there's gonna be these antique things. And then here's my desk is gonna be looking out this window. Hey, LA. Oh, it sucks. Yeah, so I got that's the primer, and then I'll paint these walls tomorrow with primer. And then I got my paint down here. A different paint. This is the walk-in closet I'm going to redo too. Got my doors off. See, I'm so lazy. I should have this stuff like somewhere else. The colors I can't because they're in the can. I don't have it on the outside like you think. It's olive green, this burnt orange, and then gray for my shelves. What you see on here is just primer. No, I don't have a ceiling fan. No, I got one in the vaulted bedroom downstairs that I never go in. I'm going to redo that. I'm going to redo all these rooms slowly, but I wanted to have this one set up first. I'm going to redo this one. And I'm putting all new window treatments on too. I haven't really decided how I'm going to do that yet. Daisy's got her candy cane jerky. Got your candy cane jerky, hon? Good girl. Yeah, that little window's cool, isn't it? So, yeah, I mean it's okay. You know, it's got hardwood floors and it's like 2,400 square feet, 3 bedroom. Yeah, I gave my nicest bed away to Dolly. That is a rosewood bed, though. Yeah, getting started. You got that, Shira? Yeah, it's gonna be nicer. I haven't been. I used to be super organized, you know. No, I like that too, Jody. Yep. Window closer to the floor. You know, that's one thing. It's not safe, but I liked them in older homes where you would go in and the windows in the upstairs would be down around your knees. It just gave you such a cooler look, like if you were laying in bed or something. Yeah, that's I've had that quite a while. I gave away my early American bed to Dolly. I've another thing that's happened to me as I've gotten older. I don't want to fool around with selling things anymore. I don't want to like negotiate and field phone calls and get lowballed. I'd rather give it away. Yeah, I don't want to go through the hassle of selling things. Yeah, grass is nice. Yeah, I really do. I never used to be that way. Another thing too, like if I want to buy something, I just pay them what they're asking. I don't want to negotiate anymore. I don't know why. I just don't want to do that kind of stuff. Yeah, the grass is pretty green. You're right. You know, sounds crazy, but like when I bought this place, it was really I needed a place to store my antiques because I was getting out of Chicago. And when I first looked at this, I thought, who in the hell would buy this place? The back of the place, you see a back of a golf course. The front of the place, see, this should have been condos across the street, but it never happened. But I'm behind a Walgreens, and that's the Rite Aid over there. Well, anyway, long story short, it goes to show you. You know, when I moved to Chicago, Florida, I built a nice place. When I lived in Chicago, I lived on the 32nd floor. I mean, what's a nice place? I used to be able to answer that. I can't answer it anymore. Because I always thought when I moved these places, I really liked them. Then you get sick of them, right? Well, this place, I couldn't stand it when I saw it, but it was so cheap that I went ahead and bought it because I needed to move my stuff. You know, storage is expensive. So here I end up paying $75,000 for this. I end up selling all my antiques. I still live here. And this is the best place I've ever lived. Why? Because I'm not into like bragging about some great house that I have, right? And when I get sick, I walk in my pajamas right over here to the Walgreens and get my prescription. There's a couple places you can eat within walking distance. There's a Verizon store right there. I mean, even though it's not like something you'd brag about as your home, it's by far the most resident-friendly place I've ever lived. I can go out the back door. I got permission to go all over the golf course, summer and winter, whenever I want. Take Daisy for walks. So I got this huge manicured place. I do a lot of photography around here. So, you know, for the first 4 years here, I was just using it as a store. It's ended up being like a great deal. Who would have ever thought that housing would do this? You couldn't give these places away 10 years ago. So here I like pay nothing to live. Yeah, it's nuts. Now they are going up. This one next door just sold for 130 to the left of me. and the one to the right sold for 140. So they've kind of almost doubled, but that's not much for a house nowadays. That's still a pretty good damn deal. I thought of buying these other units when they came up, but honestly, I don't want to be a landlord either. Yeah, I'm like one man. Now, if you see those red lights way over there, that's the state police post. Now, and that's the nail salon with the blinking sign. West Branch, Michigan. Farming community. I mean, there are a lot of vacationers up here, but this isn't like a destination. There are vacationers here, right? But the main places are Petoskey, Traverse City, Gaylord, Grayling. They're north of here. People, by and large, I'm generalizing now, get off at this exit where you saw me down there, Walmart, to get gas, go to the bathroom, get something to eat. And then they drive another 100 and 150 miles further north to the real true blue recreational facilities. It's true, Shira. Yeah, I should do that. Good night, Stephanie. Yeah, I look at it like, who wants to see, like, you know, my boring painting project? And another nice thing too, there's a lot of wildlife here. A lot of wildlife coming in. Deer, all sorts of cool birds. So I got an idea this is probably my last place that I'll end up. I'm sure I'll get buried here or cremated here. It's not that far off in the distance. No, I know what you mean, Simca, man. That's just, I think that when I see, like, you know, all you see on the news now is 20-year-old person getting killed, 25-year-old person get killed. You just can't make sense on it. But that condo collapsing, yeah, it's a real thought provoker. You got that right. It's just like a million emotions running through your mind. You can't make sense of it. But Simca, on the other hand, God had a plan for him, right? You should be happy. Oh, believe me, Sheriff, I can start a painting project. Anybody can. I've been dragging my feet on that forever. Here's one thing I would suggest you do. I would say it helped me. First of all, I'm a believer in good paint. I've done enough painting projects over my life. I've done a lot of them for other people. They're old, they couldn't do it. And I'm a fanatic on painting. I'm not shitting you. If you let me, I would paint your place for free just to help you out, like if you were disabled or something. But you would think this guy is taking a long time. I do take a long time because I'm a absolute fanatic about it. I'm not kidding you. When I am done with this, it's going to look like brand new everything. I go through the walls with a magnifying glass to make sure there's not a blemish, anything. And I'm glad that I'm like physically able to do that. So when I know of a person that's in a jam, I don't mind doing that for them. I'm glad that I'm able to do it. But my point is, I've done enough painting projects. You get what you pay for in paint. You get more than you pay for in paint. Don't go cheap on paint. And for all you people out there that have your own place, believe me on this one. I knew about this anyway, but my doctor buddy fortifies it regularly. Never go cheap on a ladder. Even if it costs you double as much. Do not go cheap on a ladder. Get the heavy duty version. I just bought a new one the other day. It sucks. I hated it. But I could have got the same height ladder, half as much, but I didn't. Why? Because I know how easy it is to fall off a ladder. I mean, I think I'm in pretty good shape for my age, but that's what every old guy says. But I'm not 25. I like to think that I am, and that I've only lost strength, and that climbing a ladder is no big deal. But I know from all the people that are quadriplegics or dead they thought the way I thought. So I try to head things off at the pass by looking from the outside in. Don't go cheap on a ladder. Get the most expensive one there is once you determine the height. But back to the painting. Get good paint. It matters. Coverage, the way it applies, the way it lasts, the durability. I'm a 100% believer in Sherwin-Williams. So if you're dragging your feet on a painting project, go out, pick your colors. They know what they're talking about too. Let me give you an example. It's been a while since I painted a thing, and my walls were white, so I'm doing the trim in burnt orange and the walls in green. And the guy says, well, to be honest with you, if you're covering white, you should use a primer. He said, you don't need to use it for the yellow in the closet, but definitely if you're covering white with burnt orange and olive green, definitely do it, man. Get a primer. Now here's the kicker. You ready for this? I've been a while since I thought of this. They got this stuff down. They know what the hell they're talking about in the Sherwin-Williams store. As it turns out, the white has 4% black in it. 4% black out of the total mixture. Why? Because that covers better than just white. Now why? It all has to do with reflective light and pigmentation, blah, blah, blah. But sure as shit, when I uncapped that primer today, even though it says white on the can, there's a 4% tin and it's actually gray. And you would think, well, why would you be using gray as a primer? I mean, you know what I mean? Is that much different than white? It is. And when I go and put that orange in that olive green over it, I'm not going to need to do 2 coats. And it's all because they know what they're doing. They recommended to me that primer for my application. Now, if I was just some jack off walking into Home Depot, I probably would have just bought primer and thinking, God damn, man, I'm going to have to do 2 coats. See what I mean? So you get what you pay for. Go out, pick your colors, get some nice paint. And they're also experts at matching it. Exactly. Like if you run out, you go back there, you give them the coat, it matches. It's not really like that with Behr and those other places. They're close, but it's different. But buying the paint will help you get motivated. Right. Yeah. Now I don't mess with that Home Depot paint. I mean, it is about twice as much a gallon. Sherwin-Williams. But I'll tell you, man, if you've done enough painting, you know it by even stirring it that it's a quality paint. The way that it sticks to the stick, the way that it stays on your brush, I'm telling you, it's worth every damn dime. And you need a lot less of it. Now, do you need half? No, you need more than half. So don't think because it's twice as much, you're going to need half as much. It doesn't work that way. It's just better all the way around for a number of reasons. Oh, okay, Ercole. Yeah. Yeah, that's why if you go, they got this stuff down, man. They really do. You ask them something, they know what the hell they're talking about. It's like the old days were a lot of places. It's definitely worth it. And here's another thing, too. You go into Sherwin-Williams, that's all they sell is paint. You look at the typical freestanding building, which costs a fortune. They're always in a good area. And you're looking back, and they've got 6 Sherwin-Williams dedicated trucks to deliver paint to contractors. Now, it's funny, because the last time I was down there, I know that there was a time when Sherwin-Williams could have gave a shit if they saw a guy like me. They weren't really interested in the do-it-yourselfer. You know, you spend up 2 hours talking to someone that's going to buy 2 gallons. And I brought that up when I was at the store the other day, because I went and got a 2nd gallon of primer. And I said, hey, what's the deal on your ratios now with commercial painters and do-it-yourself? He said, you know, right now it's about 50-50. It's been that way for about 3 years. And it's not that we've lost our commercial contractors. We've just garnered so many extra people because there have been a lot of shows on TV and everything Boy, I hope that's not a house on fire. You see that smoke? That's pretty weird. Oh, good, Jay. Yeah, that's a lot of smoke there. I doubt that could be a backyard. But I'll tell you, that's a lot of smoke. Can't believe that would be a backyard fire. Yeah, I guess it could be, but I'm sure you'd hear sirens by now. Boy, it's a beautiful, clear night out, but dark. Yeah, I should walk over. No, no plastics. Probably is just a thing, but that's a lot of smoke to be coming from a backyard fire. Yeah, you're right, BP, though. It's the right thing to do. I got rid of that. I blocked that other person. Now you can hear people back there talking. Yeah, it must be they must be having a cookout or a party or something. It's cold. It's getting cold out. I mean, I should really have a jacket on. I'd say it's 55. Good sleeping weather. Daisy gets all fired up. You know, her hair grows about a ½ inch a week. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a fire in the backyard. Yeah, I don't think it is spirit. I really don't. I mean, here's the deal on Detroit. I love the place. You know, I grew up not far from there, but I tell you, I think COVID finished it off. I really do. If you look at things that are good areas of indication on areas anywhere, you could take the whole United States and you look at public transportation, a disaster. You look at the school system, an absolute disaster. You look at the police department, an absolute disaster. Detroit was #1 in middle class leaving. And not only that, it was #1 in middle class having no desire to move there. So you take the high crime, which is through the roof, and all the things that I just mentioned, and then you take COVID when things were doing okay. It's a city that used to have 3.25 million that's down to about 640,000. So you really can't properly fund the infrastructure. Blight is through the roof. You've got hundreds of vacant lots and burned out buildings and places no one wants to move to. First, you've got to fix the things that I've talked about. And then you've got to create, jobs, which there aren't many. You got the medium 2 now. The big 3 is long gone. Detroit was basically an industrial city that, if you think about it, really didn't last that long, the good old days. So I'd say on the rebound, no. I think it's set up. Look at the flooding they just recently got. The main reason for that is a poor, dilapidated, ill-repaired infrastructure that no one can afford to refurbish. So the next time we get that kind of rain, it's going to do the same thing. It's just, when you look at all the places you can live, why would you live in Detroit? Now I'm going to get people that are going to come on. They love the D. They've got the D on their car and they wear a hat with the D, and they're going to love the D no matter what, irregardless of the facts. You can't rationalize with someone like that. But if you look at it objectively and you compare it to any other place to live, there's nothing favorable or better about Detroit. Nothing at all. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wish that it wasn't true. Believe me, nobody, wants Detroit to come back more than I do. And to be honest with you, do you think if I lived in Boston or the nice area LA, do you think I'd even have a channel? I mean, the majority of my channel for a long time was blight, prostitution, drug use, and just poverty. So, I mean, again, like I mentioned earlier, it just depends on what kind of person you are. I think that I owe one to the working girls, whether they're in Detroit or in LA or wherever the hell they're at, any drug addicted working girl, because that subject matter put me on the map. And even though I said all these things about Detroit, I'm not happy to report that. I wish it was different. But had I not been close to a city like Detroit, I'd have probably never got off the ground on a YouTube channel. So what does that mean, really? Well, I think I was fortunate. It wasn't fortunate for a lot of people that live there and for the future of Detroit, but anything that I could do. I've even contacted the ombudsman's office and the mayor's office and said, hey, look, you guys, I'm not far from Detroit. It's true, I kind of got on the map through working girl interviews. And to be honest with you, I'm desperately looking for some positive stories around Detroit. So if you'd be willing to email me and let me know where they're at, or if I could interview someone on some new projects, I'd love to, because to be honest with you, I can't find any. And I'm, sympathetic to Detroit's plight, and it's been good for me. And if I could help you out a little bit by putting some positive spin videos up there, I'd love to. Never heard from either one of them. So I wouldn't even know where to go to get a good story. Ombudsman is a faction of a government in usually a larger city that tries to make things happen for Joe citizen. If you have a problem with a function of the city or its government in some way, housing, police, fire, taxes, the ombudsman takes care of it. They're like the kind of like official marketing person to get things done. Good night, Jay. Oh, wow, BP. Oh, did you, Simka? Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, when I was down there, I mean, I was heading towards the bottom of my life. And those, I refer to them, to the good old days, content-wise they were. I mean, there was a time where I just didn't really care. I would be down there all night long. I'd be going in and out of those buildings. It's illegal to do that, but I didn't give two shits. I was already looking like I wasn't going to be able to pop out of this goddamn depression. Things were just getting worse, and the only thing that I felt like doing was staying up all in Detroit. I'd drive around there all night long, going in those buildings, be down in bad neighborhoods, and it was fun. And that's when Detroit was at its rock bottom. I mean, you look at some of the inside of those buildings, of those videos, to me, that stuff's priceless because that looks third world. And you can't get in those places now. Yeah, I think one thing that I have in the back of my mind, and that is to find some sponsors that would take these people in, get them out of Detroit, get them out there to their, and have them live with them till they got back on their feet, got a job. And I've thought about doing that up here myself, to tell you the truth, because you can't afford anything, and they could get on their feet and save up a little money and get an apartment and start a job and just get the hell away from there. The way it's set up is it's 1,000 times easier to stay a heroin and crack addicted prostitute than it is to change. And like Becky says, change to what? Becky doesn't want a husband, a soccer van, and taking the kids to practice. She didn't like that lifestyle. And she was already in too deep before she realized it. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's the way to go, but the whole caveat to the whole thing is, what is it that you consider worth making the change for? Is it, say, you have some job that you work for 35 years and you live in a house and you walk your dog? I mean, this is difficult. And sometimes when you talk to these people, what you and I like and what we are willing to work for doesn't interest them. So it's one more large cog in the wheel of just being high all the time. Sex is their moneymaker. It's not like a normal person. And they roll the dice every night on whether they're going to wake up the next morning or not. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a good guy, like, at arm's length. I'm just not too good at, like, personal relationships myself. I don't have a skill set for that. But I think I am a good guy. I mean, I think I do the right things. But I couldn't do it for myself, like with a wife and kids and stuff. I can do things for other people that I couldn't do for myself. I know it sounds crazy. Yeah, I mean, you do get, like, I don't know, I hate to use the word thick skin, but I'll tell you this, though. I mean, I don't know how this really works, to be honest with you. Like, the mechanism for, it's like they'll say garbage in, garbage out when you're learning a bunch of bullshit. And there's like a book that's written, I have it, but I haven't read it yet. The Body Keeps Score, The Body Keeps Count. And that is that your brain records all this trauma you have and it affects you later on in life. And I do think about these girls dying from time to time. And I can't really, I don't know if that has an effect on me or not. I mean, I wish it didn't happen, and I feel bad about it. But the weird thing about that, I think, that keeps me from really dwelling on it and getting down is that, one, I did everything that I could. And two, in my heart of hearts, I didn't think they were ever going to get out of there. But the other side to that is there's Tassie. So I can be wrong. So you're constantly juggling these balls in the air. But it bothered me. I'm still thinking about buying Raven a headstone. I don't even believe in that kind of stuff. But, I don't want to... I'm not a guy that's trying to get into your life and be friends with you. I'm not trying to, like, be friends till I die with Raven's mother and sisters. I kind of treat the relatives and the family the same as I treated the girls. I mean, I know you, but it's kind of like I'm not, I don't want to be over there at Christmas, you know what I mean? And now that Raven's been gone a while, and even though I would say that I had a good relationship with her mother and sisters, I think it's a little bit over the top for a guy like me, even though I have good intentions, to bring up as a non-relative that simply interviewed her, hey, you know what? I will pay for a headstone if you'd like me to. It's just got a little weird twist to it. I would be fine with it, but it's almost like it's been too long now, and it's like a little too far out of my comfort zone. Yeah, I'm glad you told me, Kim. She texted me. I got to text her back. Yeah, Kim's doing well. I mean, I'm not into headstones. I think it's all a bunch of bullshit. I hope they feed me to wild animals. I really do. But I'll tell you, I had a friend of mine and his dad who he was killed on a motorcycle when I was a junior in high school, and the dad died later on of cancer. And I know there's nobody left. And I have a stillborn brother and sister in the same cemetery they're at. And there have been times when I went back there and put things near their tombstones, even though I don't believe in it, and said nice things in case I'm wrong. Because I've certainly been wrong about a lot of things, but I just can't handle the thought of, if I'm wrong, to just have them there and just somehow have a presence of knowing that no one visits them. Ever. So, even though I tell you how I feel, and I think that's unlikely it works that way, I can't afford to make that bad move with that kind of consequence. So I keep doing it. Hey, Conan. So I just keep doing it. And even though I think a headstone's not a good idea, I think if like there is something out there and that Raven would know that I did that, it would, I'll tell you, I have 100% confidence in how Raven felt about me. I really do. And I know she liked me. She thought I was a good guy. There was no bullshit. And if there was a slimmest chance of her being aware of this down the road, there's just something sad. I know this is all created like Hallmark movie bullshit. There's just something sad about the way her life ended, and that that's how she was going to go out of there. In a damn funeral director's station wagon. There's just something sad about no marker. Yeah, she was Raven was a nice girl. Oh, interesting, man. Yeah, no kidding. Well, I hear a bunch of people screaming, and I don't know what the hell that could be this late. Especially here. Plant a tree. I don't think it's the same, though, plant a tree. Because that's just a tree. Yeah, it bothers me too. She's buried up in Clio, right around up there. And her parents live up in the UP. I bet she'll never get visitors. Oh, you think so, Air Cold? Yeah, I mean, we have people on ice up here too because of this COVID thing. I don't know if they're burying them now or what. Yeah. Oh, do you? Oh, you did? I know two guys that ended their lives by crashing airplanes, spreading ashes. Both were funeral directors. Which, for the life of me, I can't understand how in the hell you cannot. Here's where a lot of people make mistakes in airplane. They get too low. When you're spreading ashes, you don't need to be that low. It's just like buzzing houses, which you get your ass handed to you nowadays, but in the old days, everybody did it. That was one of the main reasons I got my pilot's license, so I could buzz my friend's house. And I remember thinking, if you know about stalls and accidents, that there so many guys crash these planes by flying slow. I just don't get it. When you're buzzing a house, why would you be flying slow? Especially if you plan on like pulling up. And a lot of these guys would do a spin stall. They'd kill themselves. And I never did that. I was always going as fast as I could when I went over the house. I wasn't going to take that chance. I mean, within reason, right? But I certainly wasn't going to stall out. But there's just certain things guys do in airplanes that is just, you can't figure out why. I'll tell you one statistics in airplanes that you can't figure out. It's kind of a joke, but there's an argument to its validity. And they say that you're the safest you'll ever be as a pilot the day you get your private pilot's license. That's when you're the safest, because you haven't gotten out of the box at all. You're doing everything you need to pass this check ride. That's all you know. And you're doing all that shit. And then as the years go by, you start buzzing houses and flying over freighters, and that's what gets you killed. But one statistic in flying that's strange, and that is that pilots, after they get their licenses, time goes on, they fly flatter and flatter approaches, which is so weird. When you first get your license, they're always telling you to be in gliding distance to wherever you can be at. So you're always, high. But it's easier to shoot a flatter approach, when you know where you're at. So over time, guys get lower and lower and lower. So when they come into communities like West Branch here, if you got your private pilots last week, I'm telling you, you're going to be at traffic pattern altitude, exactly where you're supposed to be. If you've been flying 10 years, you're probably going to be low and further out. Why it happens, nobody knows, but it does. And a certain percentage of those guys crash into things because of it. I had a Cessna, Piper. Yeah, I had Cessnas and Pipers, yep. Okay, BP, yeah, have a good night. Yeah, you should fly, it's a good time. Commercial aircraft are like super safe. They really are. If you look at the statistics, what the aviation community has done with airplanes is astounding. You stand a way better chance of getting killed on your way to the airport in your car. Good night, BP. Yeah, hell, I don't know. They must be having a softball tournament or something. I mean, you don't ever hear voices screaming this. Oh, that smoke's gone, by the way. Not civilian airplanes, just military. Yeah. Nope. I mean, there's probably one retrofitted someplace I don't know about that's civilian, but not that I know of. There's a a free download you can get for your cell phone. It's called FlightAware. And it's really a handy little app. I use it all the time. You don't need to get the deluxe version either. But what it does is you see an airplane in the air, all you do is punch in, hit that icon, and it goes there, and there's a place where you can tap that says aircraft near me. And that'll show you that airplane, where it's going, how fast it's going, what time it took off, when it's going to land, and what airline it is. But I have a lot of transatlantic flights that are cutting across out of Chicago O'Hare that come over here, West Branch. They head up over through Maine. They do the Great Circle route. And they're going to Scotland and Sweden, Denmark, England. A lot of the time. Yeah, that's a good one too, Harbers. Yeah. Yep. But if you guys have even a passive interest, FlightAware, put it on your cell phone. It's free. Yeah, it's super. It's I'll do it. I'll hear them over. Sometimes it's frequency, not decibels, and sometimes if the conditions are just right, I can hear them flying over, even though they're at like 46,000 feet. Now going east to west or west to east, which is the way they're hauling ass. In the fall, when we're getting the prevailing westerlies, when you got that stiff wind coming out of the west, in the fall, in early winter. I see them with 630 knot ground speeds. I mean, that is hauling ass. Now, of course, it's the opposite as they're heading to LA from places like the UK and so forth. Yeah, you got a big ass headwind, takes forever. But that's some pretty damn impressive speeds across the ground. Oh, no kidding. Huh. Yeah, I've been that in a lot of things. So once I decide I'm done with something, I'm just done. I think it could be mental illness. I've done it with Corvettes. I've done it with airplanes. I've done it with collecting antiques. I've done it with girlfriends, wives. I just decide one day, fuck it. Yeah, autopilot takes a lot of work out of it. It'll wear your ass out, hand flying everywhere. No, I think I do too. I can give you a perfect diagnosis for me. I think I have ADHD. And I think I'm a hybrid borderline personality. Yeah. That has chronic depression. But definitely, and it's funny, I was never diagnosed that. But if you read the DSM-5 and you read a lot, I mean, these diagnoses are all over the place. They, one meshes with the other. That's the bitch about being chronically depressed, is it can be so many things. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, I'm glad you asked that. There's a part of borderline personality disorder that I don't have. One major cog in the wheel of the diagnosis, and it was like hating yourself or something. There's one, I'll look it up tomorrow. But there's one major factor that I don't have, which I guess that would mean that I'm not that. It just didn't make sense. I have all the other parts, for sure. Yeah, but I mean, at this stage of the game, it doesn't matter whether I have it or not. I mean, I think we're all born with you got a group of genes that come together, 50% from your mother and 50% from your father. And that's what you go with. And you're going to be able to curtail things a little bit. And you're maybe going to take an average student and turn him into an above average student. But like Bobby Fischer said, he can make you a good tennis player, but he's not going to make you a world champ. And I think that goes along for everything. You've got this gene package. In gene expressions, that's the big one. The genes are one thing, it's how they express themselves. And there's some pretty good Scandinavian studies on identical twins that were separated at birth and how they turned out despite their genes being identical, and fraternal and identical twins as well. So you never know what you're going to get. So you don't really know whether am I limiting myself based on my genetic predisposition. I mean, if I flogged along at 50%, you don't really know, you know. Yeah, I had two nut job parents for sure. Oh, really, Simka? No, I know what you mean about that, Buttercup. Yeah, I know what you mean, but I think the biggest thing with me is that I'm no longer naive. I mean, there was a time in my young life when you could tell me that hard work and honesty paid off, and that's what made people successful, and I know better than that now. So when you're not naive, there's an argument that chronically depressed people see the world in a more realistic fashion than the ones that don't. And there's an argument of truth to that. Oh, did you, Frisky? Yeah, blissfully naive, Kenneth. You got it. Yeah, but the thing always kind of gets down to like I'll give you an example. The people, well, besides one, our valedictorian did go to MIT. But basically, I came from a blue-collar factory working place, and I was never on the honor roll one time. And all these all-A students, salutatorians and honor roll, they didn't do shit in life. Now, here's the thing. If they're happy, who am I to say they didn't do shit? I mean, isn't that what we're all looking for? Happiness? Yeah, but then you see guys like Bill Clinton and Donald Trump and Al Gore and goddamn Joe Biden make it to the top. It's pretty disheartening when you look at some of the bullshit these people got caught doing. That's what gets you to running the whole goddamn shebang with doing some of this fucked up shit. And now you're president of the United States. I mean, give me a break. Yeah. I mean, you just look at some of these crazies that are, that are successful. I mean, look at this Bill and Melinda Gates thing now. Oh, seriously, air cold. Yeah. My claim to fame is watching Debbie Does Dallas over 10,000 times. Yeah, Tears of a Clown, that's right. Just like that Diana Ross song. She says, "Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Do you know?" No, showing you, or are you going to? Do you know? Hey, Linda. Yeah, whatever makes you happy. I say if it feels good, do it. Yeah, let me think. Did I get that? It's, do you know where you're going to? Where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Something like that. Am I getting this right? Oh, life that things are showing you, do you know? Yeah. And then you look at like all the things that you would have considered a staple of success. You look at what's his name? George Michaels. Look at a lot of these people. Just went crazy with misery. Yeah, it's a song, yeah. Yeah, Diana Ross song, yep. Look at Diana Ross. She had drinking problems, marriage problems, manager problems. Yeah, acceptance. Yeah, it is. I wonder why that is like that. Most artists, you got to be dead for your stuff to be worth anything. What kind of career is that? Yeah. Yeah, that's true, Hot Rubbers. Do you like the thing as lifing? Yeah, but she ends with, do you like the things that life is showing you? But it ends with, do you know? I think it's life where your life is going to. Do you know? Because why would she say, do you know, if life is showing you? I think it's where your life is going to. Do you know? Yeah, air cooled. That's it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, mahogany. Yep. Yep. Yeah, where are you going to? Yeah, that's what I thought. Where are you going to? Do you know? Yeah, hell no. Who does know that? That's right. Yeah, you got that right. Hi, hon. You want to do more pee-pee? Want to do another pee-pee? It's cold out. You feeling good, hon? Huh? You feeling good? Okay. Yeah, girl. You feeling good? Good girl, honey. I know, you're good, baby. Well, I think I'm going to go to bed, you guys. It's a great chat. You know, I tell you, these chats are so weird. You know, yeah, I'll turn one on sometime thinking, well, see how people are doing. And there won't be anybody around. Or they're doing something else. And then I just turn one on for a second. And here we end up talking a couple hours, and it's a great chat. It's just no way of figuring them out ahead of time. Oh, thank you, Frisky. Yeah, thank you, Jabo. You want to go out and do one more pee-pee? You want to go out and do one more pee-pee? She loves the cold. Want to go out and go pee-pee? Want to go out and go pee-pee? She wants to go to bed. That's what she wants to do. Watch this. See? You want to go to bed, huh? You want to go to Betty? You want to go to Betty? She'll wait for me to get around the corner. Do you want to go to bed? You want to go to Betty? She's cute. Do you want to go to Betty? And she picked up her color-coded rawhide. You do want to go to Betty. Good night, Lily. Yeah, it was a good chat. Good night, Cheryl. See you, Buttercup. You do want to go to Betty, huh? You got your candy-coated rawhide. You do want to go to Betty, huh? Huh? She's got her tri-colored rawhide. You want to go to Betty? Want to go to Betty? You want to go to Betty? Okay, let's go Betty. Let's go Betty. Let's go Betty. She'll wait for me. Wanna go Betty? And make my bed. Come on. Well, have a good night, you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hope you have a good day tomorrow. See you, Cool. See you, Susan, Conan, Kim. Bye, Lily. Yeah, she'll wait till I come around the corner. See you, Lisa. Yeah, see you, Frisky. See you, Salty. All right, J-Bo. See you, Jeff. Bye, Buttercup.